November 2021, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hi, this is Janet, and I'm Sly. Back in 2016, we both decided it was time to stop working, buy an RV, and start traveling the country and the world. And once the RV was pretty much the way we wanted it, we started our travels, and we've been doing it ever since. So join us as we explore this country and the world, and maybe we can even meet up with some of you along the way. So we begin this week with annual maintenance. Time to service the engine, time to service the generator. While we're at it, we also have a problem with one of our slide motors and it needs to be replaced. You see this little guy? $1,500 to replace this little motor. With just a little bit more work on the awning, maintenance is almost done and we're into it for $3,500. Isn't that enough to make you drink? And so we did. Janet and I got all dressed up and headed on down to the Venetians, where we decided to drown our sorrows. The Venetian, not wanting us to drown completely, offered us these drinks at these reasonable prices. Oh, by the way, that's price by the shot. Well, you have to have a whole lot more money than we do to get drunk in Vegas. Still, the Venetian is beautiful. Both Janet and I have been to Venice, and we've been there a few times, and the representation of St. Marco Square and Rialto Bridge is really beautiful. The Venetian has fountains like you would find in Venice, and it has gondolas, both outside and inside. Having been to Venice, I can say that the Venetian did a good job of representing Venice and its canals, although they did get one thing slightly wrong. The water in the Venice canals is not blue. It's kind of an ugly grayish brown. And it has a certain odor that, well, they probably didn't want to represent that specific odor. The San Marco Square area is absolutely beautiful, and it really did remind me of Venice. The one other thing that the Venetian and Venice actually have in common is the hallways of the Venetian and the alleyways of Venice. You do either one of those and you're almost guaranteed to get yourself lost, but see several beautiful sights along the way. So after exploring the Venetian, we did end up, like I said earlier, at one of the many bars available inside the casino. This was a nice bar. It was away from the casino floor, so it was a lot quieter and it had a really nice atmosphere. So we enjoyed our drink, hung around there for a while, and eventually left, explored a little bit more of Vegas before making our way home. A couple of nights later finds us at the Erotic Heritage Museum. Now, we're not here to see the museum so much as we are to see the Pinups on Tour. The Pinups on Tour are a World War II style burlesque show.
You need boots to fill out a sweater. You need 2, but 3 might be better. That's one in the back for dancing.
The cool thing about Pinups on Tour is that this entire show is a fundraiser for various veteran organizations. There's a lot of singing and dancing, no actual nudity, and it's not about that. It's about having a good time and raising some money for veterans. The show had a girl on a bed of nails. Now, you don't see that very often at all. Maybe a standard requirement of burlesque, a girl in a champagne glass. As I said, no actual nudity, but they do come close. Next up was the ring dance. This was a good show done for a good cause. And we could not resist getting a picture with all of the girls that put on this show for our veterans. Thanks a lot, girls. We appreciate it. After the show, we headed on down to the underground Speakeasy and Distillery. The Speakeasy is in the basement of the Mob Museum near downtown Las Vegas, and tonight they had a band. The band was billed as a bluesy jazz band, and I'll tell you, it was fun to listen to them. If you look back about 2 videos, maybe 3 videos, I don't know. Either way, if you look back, you will find out that we went to the George Thorogood concert. So it was interesting to hear 1 scotch, 1 bourbon, and 1 beer. Very cool. I just had the bourbon though. Okay, maybe 2 bourbons, but no more than that, I promise. The band put on a really good show. We enjoyed listening to them, and we hung around for about 2 sets. The Speakeasy had quite a few people in there, but it never got really crowded, so it was a good place to kick back and just listen to the band. Two sets and 2 bourbons later, it was time to call it a night. And that's the way we ended another week here in Las Vegas. So far, we have had a blast here in Las Vegas. And we've been stuck in Nevada for a while, but we'll move on eventually. Janet and I still have lots of plans for things to do while we are here visiting Las Vegas. We hope you enjoy sharing in our adventures. And as always, if you look down in the description below, you'll find a link to all the places we visited, so you don't have to work quite so hard to find them. And with that, I'll end this video and simply say that both Janet and I hope that we see you as we continue to explore this stop with